Welcome back, guys. And today we're diving into Benvolio and finding out how he manages to keep calm and carry on despite all the chaos around him. The name Benvolio comes from Italian and literally means good-willed or well-meaning. And if you know your Latin, you'll know that it's also closely linked to the word benevolent, also meaning good. And so from the very start of the play, that's exactly what Benvolio represents. In Act 1, Scene 1, when the Montagues and Capulets are fighting in the streets, Benvolio jumps in with, "Part, fools! Put up your swords, you know not what you do." The exclamation and imperative verb part shows Benvolio's authority as he tries to take control of the chaotic fight. Calling the fighters fools is significant, as it highlights their recklessness and lack of sense. It also distances Benvolio from the violence, showing that he sees himself as above the petty feud. The line, "You know not what you do," is a clear allusion to Jesus' words at the crucifixion, when he says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." In the Bible, Jesus says this to show forgiveness to those crucifying him, highlighting how people often act blindly without understanding the consequences of their actions. In a similar way, Benvolio steps into the chaos of Verona as a Christ-like figure, attempting to calm the conflict. He stands out as the only consistent voice of reason, acting with wisdom and compassion. By making this parallel between Jesus and Benvolio, Shakespeare encourages the audience to recognize the importance of peacemakers in a divided society, while reinforcing the play's themes of peace, morality, and the dangers of unchecked aggression. And so Benvolio can really be seen as Shakespeare's peacekeeper. He wants harmony in Verona. And throughout the play, Benvolio always tries to restore the calm. He encourages Romeo to move on after Rosaline rejects him. And he reports the truth honestly to the prince after Mercutio's and Tybalt's deaths. In a world of secrecy and deception, Benvolio is a rare figure who values peace and honesty above all. Sadly for Benvolio, it seems that no one listens to him. In Act 3, Scene 1, Benvolio begs Mercutio to leave before the fight with Tybalt, warning that the heat will spark violence. For these hot days is the mad blood stirring. Mercutio ignores him, and so his voice of reason, his call for peace, is drowned out by anger and pride. And this rejection mirrors Christ's warnings in the Bible, which were also ignored. And so both figures stand for peace, but both are silenced by a world that chooses conflict instead. Have you ever noticed that Benvolio just disappears after Act 3? This isn't by accident. Shakespeare deliberately removes him to signal the shift from comedy to tragedy. In the first two acts, the play often feels like a comedy. There's witty banter, young love, and even some slapstick comedy. And Benvolio really fits into this lighter world because he brings balance and calm. But Act 3 is the turning point, or the peripeteia. Mercutio dies, Tybalt dies, and Romeo is banished. Crucially, it's not that the tragedy begins because Benvolio disappears. The seeds of tragedy were already there, planted in the prologue, in the opening fight, and in the lovers' secret marriage. Instead, Shakespeare shows that once the play tips fully into tragedy, Benvolio's calm voice of reason just doesn't fit in once the play races towards the final tragedy. And so Benvolio's vanishing reminds us how crucial a peacemaker is. Without his influence, the feud spirals out of control and tragedy takes center stage. Shakespeare warns that ignoring voices of peace can only lead to disaster, a message that would have been very clear to an Elizabethan audience who feared the dangers of feuds and social chaos. Finally, let's compare Benvolio and Friar Lawrence. Arguably, both characters are considered peacemakers. Benvolio represents calm, reason, and stability. But Shakespeare decides to remove him completely, thereby removing that voice of peace and allowing tragedy to take over. Friar Lawrence, on the other hand, stays. He also wants peace, marrying Romeo and Juliet to end the feud. But unlike Benvolio's honesty, the friar relies on secrets and risky plans. And ironically, his efforts make things worse. And so the direct contrast is clear. Benvolio, the true peacemaker, disappears. Friar Lawrence, the flawed peacemaker, remains. The irony is that Shakespeare silences the character who might have prevented the tragedy and leaves the one who unintentionally causes it. So the next time you're reading Romeo and Juliet, don't overlook Benvolio. He may not be in the spotlight, but he's Shakespeare's symbol of peace, and his silence tells us everything about why the play ends in tragedy. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of Benvolio. If you did like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments in the section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.